Today we'll be making the Russian T-34. If you don't know the T-34, then you don't know World War II. The T-34 was a tank created by the Soviet Union in World War II. It had sloped armor, a pretty decent gun, and many German tanks at the time couldn't kill it. And that's why this tank is pretty famous. This tank was voted by the community. If you want to vote for the next tank how-to video, then check the community tab on my channel. Anyways, without any further ado, let's get into the tutorial. The first step is getting a reference. When I searched up T-34 on the internet, it just showed me a lot of pictures of the T-34-85, which are two different things. So I suggest using this 3D model of the T-34. Although there are many different variants of the T-34 with different looking turrets, I'll be using this design, the T-34-67, because of its square looking turret. Less curves on the tank means more happiness for me. If you want this 3D model, check the description below. To get a sense of scale, I looked at my Su-85. The T-34 and the Su-85 are very similar and they should be about the same size. The first shape is the T shape, and then I cut the corners to make a more trapezoid shape. This will be the front plate. Then I glued on the bottom plate, which is just another piece of cut out cardboard. After that, I continued to glue on this huge flat piece of cardboard for the top. Now that I got the basic shape of the hull down, I want to make the turret. To start off for the turret, I just cut out a circle. The circle is for this bottom part of the turret right here, and you should scale the circle accordingly. I also extend the circle's height with some cardboard. Now for the plates of the turret. The front plate is the easiest and the first. It's just a rectangle that is glued on at a slope. The sides are just one piece of cardboard that is folded at an angle. This is to keep the turret more rounded. I actually decided to glue on the top of the tank before I glued on the sides. This way I can picture how the turret shape should look on the flat piece of cardboard. When you're done, you should have one side of the turret cut out like this. I continue with the back and the other side, and the back of the turret should poke out a little bit. Next up was the gun depression mechanism. The gun depression mechanism is basically a hinge. It's a broken pencil with some paper wrapped around it so the paper can rotate around the broken pencil. Then the gun can rotate separately from the tank. The rounded part of the gun mantlet is the hardest to make. I won't explain how I made the gun mantlet or the gun mechanism in detail in this video, but maybe another time. The barrel of the gun is just another piece of broken pencil. The gun should look like this when it's glued onto the tank. Next up, I cut out and glued on the cupola. I also added a ton of other details to the turret while I'm at it. After that, the hole for the turret mechanism is cut out. This is just a circle that I marked. I won't explain how to make the turret mechanism in this video either because I kinda didn't get good footage of it. So if you want to know, you can check out my other tutorials. I then work on the back half of the tank. This is where the vents are and this part of the tank is elevated a little bit. When I finished detailing and making the back, I glued on the turret. This is the final result. To finish up the tank, I traced the front plate of the tank and made an identical to glue onto the back. After that, the track coverings were glued on with just a long strip of cardboard. And to finally seal up the tank, I glue on the bottom plates and the side plates. To get the shape right, I just glue on a piece of cardboard and then trim it out afterwards. This should be your final product after everything is glued on and sealed. To finish off the tank body, I add on other details such as hatches, exhaust pipes, and the machine gun. This is how it looks after all the details are added. It really increases the look of the tank. The next step to building the tank is the wheels. The first wheel looks like this. I made it by cutting this flower shape into a piece of cardboard and gluing a ring around it. The rest of the wheels are just circles that are cut out and glued onto thicker cardboard. This makes the wheels actually thick, and I also glue around some cardboard to make the sides of the wheels smooth. The inside of the wheel should have some details as well. The last wheels are just these back gears. These are basically just circles with holes in them. When all the wheels are made, I glue them onto the tank. Now you should be done building the tank after everything dries. Next up is painting. My tank is painted a simple green color, and once the paint is dried, I paint on the other details such as the numbering for the tank or the design patterns. And then you should be done. The T-34 that I made looks to be one of the most accurate tanks I've made so far. So if you want more, stay tuned. And thank you all for watching.